Make it. Okay, so this webinar series really is designed to teach people how to enter data into DHIS2. It's going to give you an overview of some of the features of DHIS2 that are pretty cool. And just to let you know that, we're going to continue to have these webinar sessions to teach you more skills in terms of how to use some of the analytical tools, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to dive right in because nobody wants to look at PowerPoints. We're going to go straight to DHIS2. So this is the website for you to access PSI's instance of DHIS2. It is www.psi-mis.org. At this point, you should have a user account. If for some reason you do not, you can send me an email. Once you are on the home page of DHIS2, you will see you've got a little box down here that takes you either to our knowledge base or you can submit a help ticket. I'm going to talk a little bit about these a little bit later. We recommend that you use Chrome or Firefox. Do not use Internet Explorer. If you forget your password, you can click on the password link and it's going to ask you for your username. It will then send you an email, the email associated with your username. So you're just going to type in your username and your password. And it's going to take you to the home page or the dashboard, your dashboard. I'm going to talk a little bit about this home page and then, oh, no, I don't want you. Sorry. I'm going to talk a little bit about the home page and some of the features you're going to find here. So here's your dashboard when you log in. I am logged in as a user from Kenya, which means that right now I'm seeing the 2013 impact dashboard for services. This does not include the sales and distribution DALIs or any CYPs associated with that. So what you're seeing is data that was pulled either from the health services database or data that we got from LEC. We imported it into the system to give you a feel for what this dashboard looks like. Unfortunately, we can't create dashboards if we don't have data. So over the course of the next few months, as you guys continue to enter in your data, we're going to be able to create new dashboards for you. So if you log into the system under your user account and you don't see any data, it may be because you didn't provide any data, or it's because you don't provide those services that were captured through the health services database. So just keep that in mind. And we will teach you how to create your own dashboards and share them with your colleagues. A couple of other things I want everyone to learn about on the home page is up here in the top, this bar. You will see this in most screens, and if you click on the DHIS2 logo or even the PSI MIS, this is going to take you back to your dashboard homepage. So if for some reason you get lost or you're not sure where you are, just click here and it's going to take you right back home. Two other menu items I want you to hear about. First is your profile menu, and in here you're going to find stuff about your account. So if you click into the account, this is where you will find your username, your password, and your email address. Feel free to update that, to change it as needed. It's best if you keep your email address up to date so that we can always send out emails if needed. The other thing you're going to find here is the profile. Again, this is some information about you. You can fill in as much of this information or as little as this information as you need. I am actually not male, so I'll change that to female. You can tell us a little bit about yourself. You can put in your birthday. I can't promise you we'll send you cards and flowers, but this is just telling us a little bit about you. Again, not mandatory. Fill it in as you wish. You will find your log out button here. So when you are ready to exit the system, make sure you go out through the log out button. You will also find the help button. Help button will take you to our knowledge base. And the knowledge base is basically our documentation warehouse where we keep all of our articles about the health services report, but also about DHIS2. So we've got a ton of articles on how to use DHIS2, how to create, use the analytic tools. Most importantly, you want to check out this section here on the health services report. We have health service report module guides, which give you an overview of each of the modules in terms of what it's collecting, what are the new data requirements, why are we collecting this information, and what are the disaggregation categories and the new requirements. So make sure that you read those so you have an understanding of what it is you're going to be asked to report. Also, we have got training videos. We have set up a YouTube channel. These links will take you directly to that YouTube channel. It is PSI-MIS DHIS. I will put this in the chat box. You can check that out when you have time. And we will be adding to these. So we've got information on the knowledge base and help desk, how to access DHIS2, and how to do data entry. We'll be adding more videos as we keep moving along. Okay. The other thing that you will find in the knowledge base is the help desk. And the help desk is designed to get your question or problem resolved quickly by fielding it or directing it to the right technical expert the first time. So when you have a question or a problem, go to the submit a request link in the knowledge base. I'll show you a couple of different ways to access this. You will fill out this ticket with all of your information. If your country isn't listed here, don't worry, that's okay. You can just put not applicable. And the most important field in here really is determining the ticket type, because this is what's going to direct your request to the correct sort of technical expert. So, for example, if you have technical issues about your login, you forgot your password, you're seeing strange errors and messages on DHIS2, something isn't working in the system, you want to choose this ticket type, and this will go directly to one of our MIS team members. The other ones you want to use are all of the ones that start with HSR, and HSR is the health services report. So if you have questions about contraception, cervical cancer, or maternal health, either in terms of the data requirements or the definitions, you would want to choose that one. Same thing for the second one, HIV testing and counseling, sexually transmitted infections, male circumcision, and tuberculosis. Again, if you have questions about data requirements or definitions, you want to choose that one. These ticket types will go directly to someone in the SRHT department. Questions about health impact, referrals, attributions, DALIs, etc. Choose this ticket type, and that's going to go to someone in the program analytics team. And then finally, if you need help adjusting your local data collection tools or electronic databases that are not DHIS2, you're going to want to select this, and this is going to be fielded to your regional M&E advisor, who will be helping you adjust data collection tools so that it's capturing all of the information required in the health services report. So please fill out a detailed description of your question or problem. You can always take a screenshot or add a file. You can even record your screen if you want to try and recreate an error that you want us to see. And then you fill out the little CAPTCHA number box and you submit it, and someone will respond to you shortly. So I'm going to go back to DHIS2, and I'm going to go home. So now I want to get us straight to the data entry screen. So, the one other thing I wanted to show you was the apps menu. This apps menu allows you to go to different parts of the system, and depending on your user rights, you may see more of this menu or you may see less. But you have the ability to change the order of these menus. So for example, if you really want to see PSI support first, you can move that there. Maybe you want to see the data dictionary, you want to move that there. You can put these in whatever order makes sense for you. And basically that's it. It's already saved. If we go home, back to the home page, you'll see now when I go into the apps menu, it's in the order that I've changed it to. To go to data entry, you click on data entry. It's going to take you right there. There's a couple of things that you're going to see on the screen here, and I want to point that out to you. The first is on the left-hand side of the screen. This is called your organizational unit tree or hierarchy. In some cases, like in Kenya, who's currently using DHIS2, we have their entire organizational unit tree. So we call these org units. You'll hear us refer to them quite often. The HSR, the Health Services Report, sits at the country level. It does not sit at the central level. So if I tried to select the country level, the central, this is probably a region. If I tried to select the regional level, you'll see that my data sets are empty. So there's nothing for me to put in data there. So if your country is not there or it's the wrong country, please do send a ticket through the help desk system, and we will make sure that we get that corrected for you. Okay. So once you've chosen your organizational unit, in this case the country, you will then be able to see from the data set box or drop down all of the health service report modules. Now we know that some of these countries don't have some of these services. That's fine, just ignore those. Please do not enter in any data in those. But you will see all of them. So you're going to want to select the module that you want to enter in data for. And then the final step is that you need to select the period. Now, the period is following the same reporting cycle as the health services database, which means from the 1st until the 12th of the month, the data set is open and available for data entry. After the 12th, it is locked and you won't be able to edit or re-enter or change any data. So the other thing is that we are reporting 1 month previously, same as the health services report. So we are in the month of October right now, and so we would be entering data for the period of September. Okay, so starting November 1st, we want everyone to report, to continue to report into the health services database to make sure you get your health impact. But we want you to start entering into the health services report so that over the course of November, December, and January, we're able to validate your data, make sure that we're getting the same impact calculations, and to help staff learn how to enter in the data into the correct sections. Okay, so I'm going to choose the period of September. Okay, and I'm going to show you a couple of features about the form itself. Move this over here. You will see that at the first thing you're going to notice is that we've got these tabs. These tabs are designed to break up the data entry form. So all of the health service reports are structured in a similar way, in that they all have these tabs running across the top. The other thing you will see that is common across all of the forms is a link called Data Dictionary and a link on the right called Questions or Problems Ask Here. I'm going to walk you through these very quickly. If you have problems while you are entering in data, or you don't understand something, or something is not clear, or you have an error, or something weird is happening, go ahead and click on Ask Here. That's going to open you and open a new window and take you directly to the Submit a Request ticket, where again, fill out your information, make sure you select the right ticket type, and a description, and then we will get back to you as soon as possible. Okay, so questions or problems, you go there. Now, the other thing I want to show you is the data dictionary. And the data dictionary is a very detailed description of each of the data points. Data points in DHIS2 are called data elements. For those of you who are sort of research inclined, you can think of these as variables. But in DHIS2, an individual tested for HIV is an individual, is also known as a data element. Okay, so you will see again at the top of each tab that data dictionary link is there. And when you click on data dictionary, it's going to open a new window, and it's going to pull up all of the data elements associated with that specific tab. So for example, you'll see here that I was on the testing tab, and when I clicked on data dictionary, it took me to the testing group of the data dictionary. So if I were to go to the HIV positive results tab and I clicked on data dictionary, it's going to open the HIV positive results data dictionary section. So just a couple of comments about the data dictionary. Some of this information you do not need to know. The most important thing that you want to look for is the data element name, which one am I looking for, and the description. And so you can click on the More button, and that's going to open the data element definition description, so you can read the entire thing. You can also click on the data element name, and again, that will pull up a summary of all of the information associated to that data element from the system. Again, some of this information you do not need to know. It's just sort of coding stuff for how we code it in the system. So those are two ways for you to access information. If you wanted to download a copy of this data dictionary, you could download it as an Excel, you could get a PDF of it, or you could even print it. You also have this search feature here. So if I wanted to search for the word, well, we only have two data elements. Let me pull up another group. So if I wanted to search for the word, I'm going to hit retrieve. Oh, that's only one data element. Anyways, you can use this search function to search across the data dictionary to help you pull up data elements or descriptions that match that keyword search. Again, this is only going to show you one data element when you search by this way. If you wanted to see the entire data dictionary for a particular module, you can click on the search by data set, and from the drop-down box, find the data set that you're interested in getting definitions for, and that will give you the entire data dictionary, 25 entries at a time. So you want to scroll down to the bottom. In this case, we probably have got 3 or 4 pages, so just make sure you get the whole thing. You can change the amount that you view here. And here in the search box, if I wanted to see discordant, yeah, so you can start typing in there, and then it's going to pull up all of the entries for discordance, okay? All right, so that is the data dictionary. I encourage you, if you do have questions about something that it's asking you to report and you're really not sure what it is, go to the data dictionary and see if that helps you understand what is being counted or measured here. One of the things that I want to show folks is that in some of the forms, one of the biggest changes is that we're now disaggregating service delivery data by channel. And so you will see in this form, these rows here, individuals tested for HIV is individuals or in couples, HIV positive individuals. These are actually repeated across these 3 header sections. And the reason for that is because now we want to understand how our services are being provided through these 3 different channels: franchise facilities, service delivery partners, and PSI direct service provision. And again, if you go back to the knowledge base, you will find under the knowledge base section common data element definitions. And if you click on that one, you will find detailed descriptions about the 3 service delivery channels. What is a franchise? What is service delivery partner? And what is PSI direct service delivery? So when you are entering in your data, for example, if your organization or your platform provides HIV testing and counseling both through franchise facilities, but also through PSI mobile VCT units, you want to make sure that you are separating your data into the correct sections. So all of the franchise data is going to go up here. I'm just going to start typing in some numbers. Okay, and you'll see that the number is turning green. That means that it's being captured or stored locally in the cache, which means you'll notice here that it's saying that I'm offline and the data will be stored locally. So if you start entering in data and you lose connection because your internet goes out or you lose power, you don't need to worry. It will be stored as soon as this box turns green. It is stored in your cache, and as soon as you're able to connect again and you continue entering in your data and you upload it, I'll show you, you're going to hit complete. You will then be able to make sure that it goes directly to the server. So you're not going to lose any of your data, okay? So in this instance, we have filled in our franchise data, but maybe we also had PSI mobile units or PSI fixed sites that were providing HIV testing and counseling, and so we want to fill in our data down there as well, okay? So I'm going to fill in some numbers, okay? Okay, I'm going to show you a couple of other features about the data entry. If, for example, you just need to change data, you can just hit delete and take it out, and then you want to put in your new number. But if, for example, you try to fill in numbers, or letters, you're going to get an error message that says, you know, this value must be a number. So if you try to fill in a symbol or something else, it's going to give you an error message, okay? So just click OK, and then you want to go back and correct it. Okay, you're also going to see a totals row. So you want to make sure that the totals that you have on your forms or your paper tools are matching up to this totals row. And when you're done, you are going to hit the Run Validation button. The validation button means that we have validation rules built into the form. So for example, if we have in the testing field the total number of people tested, we should know that the total number of people tested across these 3 service delivery channels shouldn't be greater than the total number of people tested that you reported in this first tab. So there are some validation rules built in. So you want to make sure that at the end you hit the Run Validation button. Okay, my validation has successfully passed. If it has not passed, it will come up with an error describing what the validation error is. Okay, so you can just close that. And then in this instance, because I had used this earlier in a demo, you'll see here I completed it earlier. What it's asking me to do is unregister the data set. But in what you would normally do is you're just going to hit the button complete. It's going to show you a little message. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do it in here. It's going to show you a message that says, are you sure you want to register this information? You're going to say, yes, I'm sure. Okay, so we're going to go down to the bottom. This is now complete. Hit complete. Are you sure that this data set is complete? Yes, I am sure. Hit OK. And then that's it. So your data is now registered into the system. And then you realize, oh my gosh, I made a mistake. Okay, so again, during the 1st and the 12th, the data set is open and you can edit that information and you can change it. After the 12th, that data set is locked and you can no longer edit or change the data. That means if you find errors after the 12th, you will need to report those in the next month and make any adjustments or any rollovers in the next month, okay? So in this case, it's not the 12th yet. I'm going to change my data. And in order for us to do that, first we just need to go in and change some numbers. Okay. And now what we need to do is, because the data set was registered as complete before, we need to say that it's incomplete. Okay, and it's going to say, are you sure that you want to undo the registration that you previously told me was complete? You're going to say, yes, I made a mistake. Okay, now it is open for us to edit, which we did. And now we can just hit the button complete. It's going to ask you again, are you sure this is complete? Well, yes, we are sure this time. Okay, and that's it. That is your data entry. It is very easy, user-friendly. I will just say, as you are going through each of the tabs, make sure you scroll down. Some of the tables are long, so make sure that you're seeing the entire table to make sure you have not missed anything. And let's see, did I forget anything? Validation, okay. You will also see across all of the modules you have 2 tables for referrals and referrals issued. So these are the number of referrals that you gave out to someone, and the number of effective referrals. These are referrals that were validated using the validation rules outlined in the health module guides, and these are what you get your DALIs from. Okay, so that is it. I'm going to open up for questions and see if anyone has any pressing questions at the moment. Okay, Raymond's got questions. Are we going to be reporting short-term methods? If yes, are we to disaggregate by age, number of living children, marital status, like we do for long-term methods? Very good question, Raymond. First, I would direct you to the knowledge base to look at all of the documentation for the contraception module. The contraception module does include short-term methods, long-term methods, and permanent methods. And so in this overview, you will find that you get all of the information about what you are going to report on. So start there. And then the second thing is, if you want to see what's being reported for contraception, go to the contraception module. And here you will find each of the tables for all of the short-term methods. So you've got short-term methods, long-term methods, permanent methods, and then client information. Some of the data requirements for all of the contraception method services have changed. We are no longer collecting the number of living children. However, we are disaggregating by age, and we are collecting marital status. So go ahead and look through the tables. The one thing I do want to stress to everyone is, we know that the data requirements have changed. Some of you may not be collecting some of this information. And we know that it's going to take a little bit of time for everyone to adjust their local systems. We expect there to be a sort of transition period over the next 6 months. And if you need help, you now have help through your M&E regional advisors. Or if you are using DHIS2, you have help through the global MIS team. So, Raymond, if you have any more questions, keep going in the box. Aha, this is necessary because, yes, these are new requirements, as I mentioned. And why do we need to know this information? Well, because it's important that we understand who it is that we are providing all of our services to, regardless of method type. And again, if you need to change your data collection tools, we understand that that will take time and that we now have resources to help you do that. LEC. For the adjustment period, can we enter the negative value to correct over the old report in the last period? I think maybe LEC, I'm going to have you tell me what your question is, but I think if you're asking, can you add a negative value in the open reporting month? Let me open you up. Hey, Lek.
Hey, my question is like, if the September we over 1,000, and then in the October period we have to make that correction, and we enter like a minus 1,000.
Oh, okay. That is a good question. Can you enter a negative value into the data form? I believe yes. I have not tried that, but I will confirm that, but I'm almost positive that you can enter a negative value to correct an error from the previous month.
Yeah, just make sure that it's passed the validation process.
Right, exactly. Okay, thanks, Lek.
Yeah.
Basker. Hi, Nicola. Does the system automatically insert the offline data when connectivity restores? Yes, absolutely. So as long as you have been able to get a green box in your data entry field. Even if you are offline, it will still continue to turn green. It's being stored in your cache. As soon as you are able to get your connectivity back online, you're going to get a message that says you have data that needs to be uploaded to the server. And it's going to give you the option to just hit the upload button. And then that will automatically sync with the server and get your database back up to have everything in there. Okay. Please clarify the difference between issued out-of-network referrals and effective out-of-network referrals. This is a really good question. Okay, so let's go to the issued out-of-network referrals tab. Okay, so the referrals tabs are structured a little bit differently from what you've probably seen in the past. Each of the health service report modules has the exact same tabs at the end. The last two tabs are always issued referrals and effective referrals. So what we're asking you here is, if there was an intervention activity that was around family planning or contraception, either through a BCC activity, or it was a referral given from a service delivery provider, either a franchise, another partner, or it was us, one of our service delivery staff giving a referral. We want you to record in the issued out-of-network referrals the number of referrals that you gave to people to go access services outside of the network, okay? So that means you gave them services to go to either a hospital or a higher level facility that is not in network. Okay, and then the second tab is the effective out-of-network referrals. And this is basically the validation or the confirmation of an effective referral. So this is where you're able to say, we gave a referral to someone, but now we're able to see that someone actually did go and receive those services, and that is validated. And so we want to record all of the effective or confirmed validated referrals in this second tab, okay? So Moira, I need to confirm, the question is, are we allowed to enter negative figures to correct? I need to confirm. However, I am almost positive we can enter in negative figures. The system will allow us to capture those. I will confirm that, and we will have all of your questions up in a frequently asked questions document so that everyone can see the same answer. But again, I'm almost positive that you will be able to enter in negative figures to correct or adjust data from the previous month. Are there provisions for comments on the DHIS2 platform in case it becomes necessary for you to comment? This is a really good question. Let me show you a very cool feature that we have. I'm going to take you back to the HIV testing and counseling for the month of August. Now, let's say you're entering in your data and suddenly we get to this age group and suddenly our numbers start shooting through the roof. Okay? We've got 75 here and 85 here, and you're like, okay, you know what? Maybe I need to explain to someone why these numbers are so high in compared to something else. Or there's something about this data that you want to record some comments about. You can actually double click in that box, and what it's going to do is pull up a little feature which allows you to save a comment. So you can say here, we had a super campaign and lots of 20 24-year-olds came and were tested. Okay, you can save your comment. The other thing you can do is you can set minimums and maximums. So if you know historically that you will never test over 100 people in a given age category for a certain month, you can always put on a maximum. You'll also be able to see an audit trail in terms of who was entering in data, how did it change, and then you're also going to see an average trend line of that data over time as you continue to enter in data. So yeah, if you have comments, just double click in any of those boxes, and you'll be able to save a comment about that data. Okay. Lec just wanted to remind everyone that through the referrals tab in each module, we enter the data once. Yes. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is, okay, for 2014, please remember that you will still continue to use the health services database so that we can calculate all of your 2014 health impact. The other thing is, if you are reporting referrals for 2014, the program analytics team will be providing a separate referrals spreadsheet, as they did in the previous year for 2013, to capture all of your 2014 referrals. Now, again, we still want you to try and enter in your data into the health services report, and moving forward, starting in 2015, all of your health impact and your referrals and all of that will be coming through the health services report. So January 12th, the health services database will turn off for English-speaking countries, and you will now only be reporting into the health services report starting in February. Okay. I do not have the data dictionary tab on my data entry screen. How do I get it there? Interesting. So, Malvern, are you saying that right here at the top, underneath your tab section, you do not see the data entry link? Let me, Malvern, I'm going to unmute you, okay? Okay, Malvern can't hear us. Malvern, if you, for some reason you can't see it, it should be on every single tab. If you cannot see it, go ahead and send us a ticket through the Ask Here Are Problems. If for some reason you can't see the questions or problems link either, go up to your apps menu and select PSI support. That will take you directly to the knowledge base where you can submit a request. Let us know. But you should be able to see that link at the top of each of the tabs. Okay, it's not there. All right, Malvern, I will look into your user account and make sure that we get that fixed for you. Malvern, the other way that you can access the data dictionary in the meantime is you can go to your apps menu. You have a data dictionary link or apps button in your apps menu. You should be able to click there. That will take you to the data dictionary. And in this case, you would want to search by data set. You can use the drop-down menu and look for the HSR modules here. They all start with HSR. If you click on any of those, you can get the data elements that way. So in the meantime, the other way that you can look is search by groups. You're going to search by data element groups. So you could also search here under HSR. And here again, you can look by the different tab names. Okay, so you still should be able to get access to the database, the data dictionary, even though we don't have it. But I will get that thing fixed for you. Are the transgendered population figures also included in the male and female columns, or are they standalone figures? That is a good question. I believe you are referring to the HTC module. Let me pull that one up. Sometimes if it does take a little bit of time for your organizational unit to load, just give it a second depending on your connection. If it takes a really long time and it never loads, send us a ticket request and we will fix that for you. Okay, so in the HTC module, you will see that there is a transgendered column. So we have males, we have non-pregnant females, pregnant females, and transgendered. So I believe across all of the tabs, that transgendered category is there. Sorry. So in this instance, all of the HTC tabs have a transgender category separated from the males and females. Hi, I entered data for both the Caribbean and Belize, but only have access to the Caribbean. Not sure if this is the forum to discuss, but maybe to send an email after. Hi, Maura. Yes, I think we had separated out the Belize from the Caribbean. I will make sure that you get Belize added to your user rights. I suspect that maybe they forgot to add that for you, but we will get that fixed for you. If my country is going to start using DHIS2 in 2015 for our country level MIS, will we still have to report into the health services report separately, or will it be linked somehow? That's a really great question, Caitlin Quaid. If you are currently using or will be using DHIS2 in 2015 as your local MIS, you're replacing your Access tables or your Excel tables, you will still need to report into the health services report. We will be able to help you create reports from your local data to pull it out and disaggregate it in a way that conforms to the health services report. But you will still need to rekey that information into the health services report. There is a preferred browser for DHIS2. This is very important. We recommend that you use Chrome or Firefox. Do not use Internet Explorer. DHIS2 and Internet Explorer do not mix well. So again, Chrome or Firefox. Okay, lots of really great questions. These are definitely going into our frequently asked questions. So we've got about 5 more minutes. So if we have some more questions, please get them in now. Otherwise, again, I just want to repeat for everyone, starting November 1st, we're going to ask you, one thing I do want to show everyone. So in starting November 1st, if for some reason you don't have the data disaggregated the way that the health services report is asking you to disaggregate it, we have included unknown columns in fields where we think you may not have that information. So feel free to put your data in those unknown columns if you can't find an appropriate place to put it. So, for example, here we're asking, was this a first-time tester? Was this a repeat tester? Maybe you don't know. So you would put your information in the unknown column. And this is really just to make sure that we're validating that your data is, one, adding up correctly, and it's giving everyone sort of the time and space to be able to adjust their local systems. Okay, so again, if you, for some reason, you don't have that information, or it's your report doesn't allow you to give that information, put your information in the unknown column, and then that will give us an idea of what type of support you're going to need to adjust your local forms. Okay, so starting November 1st, continue to report into the health services database as usual through the end of January, so we get all of your 2014 data into the health services database. We can do your health impact calculation. And we want you to start using the health services report so that we can work through the first few months where people are struggling to understand how to use the system. We're going to validate your data to make sure that it matches the health impact that you're getting out of the health services database. So continue to do that for the month of November, December, and January. And then February 1st, you will only be reporting into health services report in DHIS2. Okay? Okay, great. Thanks, Raymond. Okay, what is the link to DHIS2? Do I need to create my own account, or have the accounts already been created and I would get login credentials from you? Alan, depending on whether or not you were in our user account list group, links, invitations were sent to everyone who was supposed to get an account. So if for some reason you did not receive an invitation in your email, please send an email to through the help desk ticket request. Fill out all of your information so we have it. Don't worry about your country if it's not here in the box. Just say, I don't have a user account. Please do describe your situation here. Tell us which country you are writing from, and select DHIS2 technical issues, and we will make sure that you get an account set up. Okay? Okay, last call for questions. Can you please talk more on client information? Just wondering, because it's here for disaggregated data. Raymond, unfortunately, we don't have enough time to go into detail about all of the client information because there are so many modules. There are 7 modules. If we were to go into detail into each one, we would be here probably for a day. I recommend that you go to the knowledge base here and read the documentation. Okay, that's going to tell you all of the information you want to know about how the client information is being disaggregated, what the new categories are, etc., etc. Hi, Nicola. About the age segregation, especially for HTC, in the event that the current tools do not have these segregations. Yes, very good question. As I mentioned before, if for some reason you do not have this current disaggregation categories, use the unknown box. That is the best way to put your data in if you don't have this current disaggregation. Disaggregation is pretty standard, although I know that some countries have some slight differences. So again, if you don't have these disaggregations, put your data in the unknown boxes. Is the data dictionary interactive? More information can be added. Completed in case some details are not clear. Completed or adjusted for your platform reality. Unfortunately, the data dictionary can be adjusted, but not on a country by country basis. This is what's called a common data framework, which means that this data definition is the global definition across all of our countries. So in some cases, you may have a specific detail in your country that you may call it something slightly different, or maybe your age categories don't line up. But in the data dictionary, this is the common data definition that will be used across all countries. So while we can adjust it if for clarity and add additional details, the countries cannot adjust the data dictionary. Okay, really great questions, guys. This was great. So, unless we have any more burning questions, this recording will be available. We will put it up on the YouTube channel. You guys will be able to access it. Again, we will have sort of a frequently asked questions communication probably posted in the knowledge base again here. Use the search function if you have a specific question. And otherwise, starting next week, we expect lots of feedback on the new health services report. Okay, so thanks, guys, and we'll be in touch soon. Thanks.